our carbon journey started 10, 11 years or so ago with, I think at the time, an innovative switch which was made from fossil fuels to renewable biomass, taking advantage of the RHI that was still new in those days, around about then anyway. And since then we've done more. We've converted all of our electricity to 100% renewable supply, which is fantastic that that is even an option here in the UK, and hopefully it will become an option elsewhere too. Here it just wiped off about 1,000 tons of our UK business carbon footprint, just like that, with one boardroom decision, which is so exciting. You know, we talk about all the gloom and doom, but then we realize, well, actually we've never before had all these tools available to us, and actually there's a lot of cause for climate hope, not just climate dismay. So I would invite everyone to do the same. Firstly, of course, measure. What is your carbon footprint? Well, I can tell you ours are here across the whole group. It's about 24,000 tons. 24,000 tons. Your household carbon footprint, I don't know, maybe it's a dozen tons. So our group carbon footprint is a big number. But it includes flying of fruit from South Africa. You know, we put fruit on planes in South Africa, and from our farms there, the fruit ends up in markets in the Far East, the Middle East, and in Europe. And that issue of indirect, because of course it's British Airways, Scope 1 emissions, there's this whole technical thing that I won't need to go into now, but basically what companies need to do is measure the emissions that are directly related to their business. Think about the indirect emissions, like flying of fruit, which kind of sit on your conscience, and make a values-based decision to address them in some form. So we reduced where we could. I talked about biomass, boilers and green electricity as just a couple of examples. That saw us reduce by 35% since 2017 to 2020, which was not a bad result, but we acknowledge there's so much more still to do. But we did feel that at that point in time, it sort of enabled us to start the conversation around carbon offsetting. And what we've realized is that carbon offsetting, imperfect as it might be, is the most meaningful tool at our disposal to actually do something about climate change. All of those projects that are out there benefiting from climate finance, because people like us are buying carbon credits from them, that's empowering for them. It's driving the carbon price higher. More projects are becoming feasible as a result. More trees are being planted, more innovation in renewables, more innovation in energy efficiency, etc. So I think I'll probably conclude it with that sentiment that we can do something about it, but we must do it now. Start with measuring, then of course reduce, and don't wait for perfection in methodology before taking that important step of offsetting. And once you've done the offsetting, you're not out of jail free. Of course, that is also just another step in the whole journey to net zero.